Some people seem predestined to lead extraordinary lives, commanding history with stories that feel almost mythical. America has a rich heritage riddled with such extraordinary tales. Few are as legendary as that of our first president, George Washington. In the heat of battle at the onset of the French and Indian War, just to the east of what is now Pittsburgh, bullet holes ripped through his coat and hat, yet he walked away without a scratch. Horses were blown out from underneath him as fellow officers were slain left and right. Yet he left the battlefield miraculously unharmed. Stories quickly spread that Colonel Washington was bulletproof. It was just the beginning of the mythologized legacy of our first president. In the years that followed, Washington led a ragtag revolutionary army out of the clutches of British victory, often seizing the upper hand in the nick of time. To be sure, it was Washington's strategy, resolve, and moral character that inspired his troops to victory during some of these pivotal moments throughout the American Revolution. Yet at other times, it seemed only the hand of God Himself controlled the outcome. But this book does not focus on a familiar figure like Washington. Our subject reminds us that not every significant historical figure is a household name. Most, in fact, are not. Some are remembered simply because they made the right choice, in the right place, at the right time. Others are scarcely remembered at all. There were men and women from communities across America who led extraordinary lives that influenced countless individuals and helped build a freer society, often at great personal cost, whose important legacies have since been swallowed by time and relegated to the footnote of history. I speak, of course, of folk heroes. These regional figures may not be as legendary as someone like a George Washington, but they still possess the bravery and conviction needed to contribute to the fulfillment of the vision outlined in the founding of America. Their courage and wisdom inspired thousands in their time and often influenced the leaders of the next generation. The Reverend John Rankin of Ripley, Ohio, was one such leader, and he is the subject of this story. Rankin's story is as unlikely as it is unknown. This Presbyterian minister came from a world where slavery was a fact of life. Born and raised in eastern Tennessee, he grew up surrounded by suffering and oppression. While the difficulties of frontier life were enough to harden the hearts of even the holiest men, Rankin's faith in God strengthened, and with it his moral clarity of right and wrong, justice and injustice, and his abiding belief in human liberty. Nothing disheartened Rankin more than seeing his neighbors exercise dominion over his fellow man. To him, slavery was the ultimate sin, an absolute disgrace to the Creator. He became disgusted by his fellow